Hello students. Welcome to this new video on class 8 NSO, and in this video we are going to solve the exam paper 2017 set B questions 26 to 50. So let's begin. And as in any other videos, you will learn the quickest method because you don't have to solve the entire set of options. You will learn the science concepts and fundamentals with interesting images and facts, and this will also help you in your class 8 science school exam. So you may want to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so the first one, question number 26. Read the given passage and fill in the blanks by choosing an appropriate option. Metals have high densities except one, which can even float on water. Metals are malleable and ductile. Two are the most malleable and ductile metals. So at this juncture, you just solve for two, which are the most malleable and ductile, you know. And as you, many of you will be knowing, gold and silver, they are the most malleable and ductile because, they produce gold ornaments and silver ornaments, and you can heat the gold, and you can basically shape the gold in any fine intricate jewelry. So you can make very fine jewelry from gold. And one of the interesting fact is very thin sheets can be of gold can be made, which are used for gold plating. And just imagine that from 1 gram of gold you can make a wire which is 2 kilometers long. How wonderful this is! Just from 1 gram of gold, a 2 kilometer wire can be made. So it is so very ductile and also many malleable because you can make very thin gold sheets or silver sheets. So the answer for two is gold and silver. What is the chemical formula for gold? Aurum, AU, sorry. And for silver, it is AG, argentum, isn't it? It is for silver. So gold and silver are the most malleable and ductile. Okay, next one. Observe the given experimental setup carefully and choose the correct statement. Okay. Solution X plus phenolphthalein, which is colorless, and then when solution Y is added, it turns to pink. Okay. So here the solution X is nitric acid, because nitric acid plus phenolphthalein is colorless, because phenolphthalein is used for acid-base titrations, and it turns colorless in acidic solutions. When you add nitric acid to phenolphthalein, it turns colorless. But when you add baking soda, so Y is baking soda, solution Y is baking soda, the phenolphthalein is going to react with baking soda and it's going to turn pink, isn't it? It's going to turn pink. So that's why the solution X is nitric acid and solution Y is baking soda, whereupon the whole solution will turn pink. Okay, question 28. A brief information about a few substances is given as: it is the residue left behind after destructive distillation of coal. Now only solve for one option, which is a residue left after the destructive distillation of coal. The residue left is coke, isn't it? It is coke. So what is destructive distillation? A process by which organic substances such as wood, coal, and oil shale are decomposed by heat in absence of air and distilled to produce useful products such as coke or charcoal or oils and gases. That is a destructive distillation. So coke is the residue of destructive distillation of coal. Okay, next one. A science teacher has arranged a few test tubes as: so there is 10 ml potassium hydroxide with 5 ml apple juice and 10 ml sulfuric acid with 5 ml window cleaner, 15 ml caustic soda plus 10 ml soda water, and 1 teaspoon of curd with 10 ml grape juice. Okay, so what is the incorrect statement? The incorrect statement is statement number B. Why? Because China rose in acid is dark pink, isn't it? Sulfuric acid plus window cleaner, but there is 10 ml of sulfuric acid, isn't it? So the resultant solution will be acidic. And when you add China rose to the acidic solution, it will turn dark pink. It does not turn green. green, it turns dark pink. So China rose in acid is dark pink. So in solution 2 and 4, again 1 teaspoon curd and 10 ml grape juice. So again this is acidic solution, isn't it? The juice is bit acidic. So that's why this in acid the China rose will turn dark pink and will not turn green. Okay, next one. 4 experimental setups are shown in the given figure. So it is copper in magnesium sulfate and iron in aluminum sulfate, zinc in iron sulfate, and calcium in silver nitrate, isn't it? So what is that we need to find out? No reaction will take place in beakers. So here you have to just visualize the table where some of the elements are very reactive and some of the elements are not reactive. No reaction will take place in 1 and 2. Why? Because magnesium is of higher reactivity than copper. Magnesium is here at the top, copper is here at the bottom. When MgSO4, when you place copper in MgSO4, no reaction will take place because magnesium sulfate, magnesium is not going to lose sulfate ions, isn't it? This will not break. No displacement will happen because this bond is very strong, because magnesium is very reactive. It will not let loose of sulfate ions. So this will not break, and hence there will be no reaction between copper and magnesium sulfate. Similarly, iron and aluminum sulfate, isn't it? Aluminum is of higher reactivity than iron. So aluminum will not let go of sulfate ions. So iron will not react with aluminum sulfate. So no reaction will happen here. Okay. Study the given Venn diagrams carefully and identify points 1, 2, and 3. So which is one? It is a chemical as well as physical change. So burning of LPG in kitchen. So in the gas, LPG gas, when it burns, it is a chemical change, isn't it? Because gas is burning. It's also a physical change because actually what comes from what is filled in the cylinders is liquid. It is liquefied petroleum gas, isn't it? So it's liquefied petroleum gas. And when you turn on the knob, the liquid changes into gas because of the pressure in the cylinder. It is high pressurized, isn't it? So there is a physical change as well. Number 2, it's a chemical change and slow change. Chemical change, so rusting of iron is a chemical change, and it's a very slow change because iron rusts very slowly, isn't it? And number 3, physical change and slow change, evaporation of water. It's a very slow change. If you have a glass of water, evaporation is still happening, but you cannot see it because it's very slow change. And it's a physical change because water is turning from liquid to gas. So it's a physical change as well. Okay, next one, question number 32. Shreya, a class 8 student, listed the properties and uses of a few fibers in the given table. So solve only for one of the options. We'll solve only for W. Which fiber absorbs moisture and can be used, can be woven like silk fibers, and it is also used for making reinforced tires and bandages. So which fiber is that? Rayon, isn't it? Rayon is used in tire cords. So tire cord is the central part of the tire. It is the central fabric part of the tire, which is made from rayon, because rayon is very rough and tough, isn't it? It is a artificial fiber. So it is used for reinforcing tires. Next one, question 33. Which of the following statements are correct? Okay, which of the following statements are correct? Yellow flames are ideal for heating. Substances which vaporize during burning give out flames. So which of the following statements are correct? 2, 3, and 4. Substances which vaporize during burning give out flames. That is correct, isn't it? But what is incorrect? Yellow flames are ideal for heating. No, yellow flames are not ideal for heating because yellow flame is incomplete combustion, isn't it? Fuel is getting wasted. If you burn wood, it is still an incomplete burning, because wood, you will see yellow flame, it is still an incomplete burning because wood, you can actually, they if you restrict the flow of oxygen, you can make charcoal from wood, isn't it? You can make charcoal from wood. But yellow flame is not good for burning. What is it? What is a good flame for burning? The flame which actually reacts with oxygen, like gas. When you, if you observe gas, it is actually a blue flame. The gas stove, the flame over your gas stove is a blue flame, because it has the LPG, the liquefied petroleum, has basically is burning very well in presence of oxygen. So that's why it is a good flame. It's a blue flame, is actually good for heating, isn't it? So the 2, 3, and 4 are incorrect. What is the only correct? What is 2, 3, and 4 are correct. The only incorrect is number 1, yellow flame. It is not ideal for heating. Blue flame is ideal for heating. Okay, next one, question 34. Refer to the given ultrastructure of an animal cell. Identify the label parts P to S and match them with their functions and select the correct option. So what is synthesizing proteins from amino acid? Who does that? Mitochondrial cells, isn't it? Mitochondrial cells, they will synthesize proteins to form amino acids. Okay, synthesize proteins from amino acids, sorry. Then what is S? S is endoplasmic reticulum, isn't? They are used, their function is to synthesize lipids. Synthesize lipids. Then what is Q? Q here, Q is Golgi apparatus. It is packaging of material synthesized in a cell. Whatever you synthesize, it packages that to a common blob or common material, which is the Golgi apparatus. And what is R? The R, this small thing here, are lysosomes, which are secreting digestive enzymes. Is in lysosomes, they secrete digestive enzymes so as the nutrition digestion can happen within the animal cell. So this is the correct option. Okay, next one. Refer to the given flow chart and select the correct statement regarding P, Q, R, S, and T. So first, identify it is a natural fiber. No, what it is not a natural fiber. So this P is a artificial fiber. But what we need to identify is what is Q? It is obtained from plants. So natural fiber obtained from plants. It is the easy one, cotton, isn't it? Then what is S? It is a source organism is harmed in fiber obtaining process. So source organism is harmed? No, the source organism is not harmed. Obtained from animals, but the source organism is not harmed. It is wool, isn't it? Because the sheep or yak, it is not harmed during the obtaining the fiber, isn't it? They're just sharing they're just taking off the wool from the animal, but animal is still alive. But T, what is T? The source organism is harmed in the process. Silkworms, isn't it? Silkworms are actually killed during the process when you are obtaining silk fiber. So what are the correct statements? So 1 and 2 are the correct statements. Q is cellulosic because plant fibers normally are cellulosic like cotton. And S is proteinaceous because S is an animal fiber. Wool is an animal fiber. They are proteinaceous. They have proteins. And S could be obtained from viviparous animals. So what are viviparous animals? The animals which actually give birth. So fertilization and embryo development occurs inside the individual, like humans or lions, tigers, cows, sheep, isn't it? So S, wool, is obtained from sheep which are viviparous. And what are oviparous? Oviparous is the females lay eggs, isn't it? Fishes, birds, insects, they are oviparous animals. Silkworm is oviparous because silkworm, it lays eggs, then it goes through its whole cycle of larvae and pupae and then the worm formation. Okay, so 1 and 2 are correct statements and 3, 4, 5 are incorrect statements. Okay, next one. Refer to the given Venn diagram, identify the food components X and Y and select the incorrect statement regarding them, isn't it? So what is the incorrect statement? Incorrect statement is pancreas secretes digestive juices which act on Y only. So pancreas, they help in digestion of not only protein. So Y here is protein. Digestion in mouth and small intestine is starch. Starch, bit of digestion happens in mouth and bit of digestion happens in small intestine. And proteins, eggs and all proteins, the digestion happens in stomach and small intestine, because proteins are a bit heavier to digest, but they are packed with energy. So pancreas, they help in digestion of multiple nutritions, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and not only starch. So protein secrete digestive juices, which acts on why only is incorrect. Not only protein, but pancreas also secrete juices which help in digestions of carbohydrates and fats as well. Okay, next one. Refer to the given figure, identify P2S and select the correct statement. So this is the figure of a female reproductive system, human female reproductive system, isn't it? Where R is the uterus, which is helpful in nourishing and developing the fetus, the baby, prior to birth, isn't it? S is the vagina, which receives the sperm and it serves as the birth canal. The baby comes out from the vagina. Q is the fallopian tube, and it basically helps in passing of the ovum, which are made by the ovary or the eggs. They pass from the they pass through the fallopian tube and come to the uterus, isn't it? So, which are the correct statements? Number 3, when embryo implants and develops in Q, it is removed by medication or invasive surgical procedures, as it could be life threatening, isn't it? Because if the embryo implants in the fallopian tube, then the embryo cannot develop, or if it starts developing, the the fallopian tube will actually burst, and it will have internal bleeding, isn't it? So this is a very life threatening situation, so this has to be removed surgically, isn't it? And so at times it happens, because nature, you cannot predict mother nature, isn't it? Number 4 is labeled part S receives sperm and also serves as birth canal, which is true, because vagina, it receives sperm and also serves as birth canal. The baby comes out of the vagina. Okay, next one, question 38. Refer to the given schematic representation of circulation in humans. Identify X, Y, and Z and select the correct statement regarding them. So what is the image about? The heart, then there are lungs, and then this X is veins. So veins carry oxygen from the organs to the heart, and these are the capillaries, isn't it? And the Y, what does Y do? Arteries, the heart pumps the blood. So oxygen rich blood is carried from the heart to the organs, isn't it? Y has no walls, where X has walls to prevent backward flow, isn't it? So this is the correct statement, because when you are pumping the blood, you don't want a valve here. So because heart is pumping the blood to the organs, you don't want a valve here. But here you definitely want a wall on the left hand side, because you don't want the oxygen depleted blood to flow back to the organs, isn't it? If the oxygen depleted blood, it flows back to the organs, it may harm the organs. So once the blood goes to the heart, the valve actually closes, so that the blood cannot flow from the heart, the oxygen depleted blood back from the heart to the organs, isn't it? So there is a valve here on the left hand side. So next one, which of the following statements are correct? So the correct statement is manures provide specific nutrients to the soil, isn't it? Manures, they provide broad range of nutrients to the soil. What are the nutrients? Such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients such as copper, manganese, and zinc. All these are provided by manures. Okay, next one. Rectify the given statements by replacing the underlined words and select the correct option. Okay, in such cases, solve only 2, isn't it? The viscous fluid present in nucleus is called as nucleoplasm, isn't it? It is called as nucleoplasm. So this is the nucleus, this green shape, the half same hemisphere. It is the nucleus, and in that it is nucleoplasm. This pink color fluid is nucleoplasm. So it is nucleoplasm. So first is nucleoplasm, and vacuoles are rod-shaped structures which oxidize food to provide energy. So these rod-shaped structures are mitochondria, isn't it? They are mitochondria. So first is nucleoplasm and second is mitochondria. Nucleoplasm and mitochondria. So only solve for 2. Okay, next one. Refer to the given food web and select the correct statement. So K is the starting of the food chain. It could be plants, isn't it? Normally it's plants. So N is eating the plant, L is eating the plant, and O is eating the plant. But L is also eating N, and O, it is also eating plants, and L is eating plants and N is only eating a plant, isn't it? So N could be the primary consumer, isn't it? Insect, which only eats leaves. So K could be leaves. But L could be a monkey. L could be a monkey, which is consuming leaves as well as insects, isn't it? It is consuming leaves as well as insects. But what is O? O could be a gorilla. Gorilla, omnivore, isn't it? It could be omnivore, which is also eating small monkeys, but also it is eating the leaves as well, isn't it? So O is an omnivore, but N is the primary consumer. So N is just a herbivore. It's just a herbivore. Okay, next one. Refer to the given list of fruits or seeds and select the option which correctly matches these fruit seeds with the dispersal agents. Now you just have to remember only one, dandelion. Isn't, sir, where is dandelion? You must have seen this in grassy lands or meadows, isn't it? The dandelion, and when you blow at them, the whole seeds they disperse by your by the wind, isn't it? Or by your blowing of breath, the seeds are dispersed. So dandelion. So dandelion is one group. So hiptage, acer, and dandelion, isn't it? Hiptage, acer, and dandelion. They are dispersed by wind. They are dispersed by wind. So only solve for one group. Okay, question number 43. Select the pair of diseases that are caused by contaminated water. So cholera and typhoid, isn't it? They are caused by contaminated water. Normally in monsoon seasons where the water mixes, the bad water mixes with a pure water, drinking water, it causes cholera. And that's why during monsoons or post monsoons, you get a lot of cases of cholera. And typhoid is because of Salmonella typhi bacteria. And it occurs when you eat food outside or on streets, where they don't follow proper hygiene, and in that the water may have this Salmonella typhi, which is a typhoid bacteria. Both these bacteria, cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae bacteria. Both these types of bacteria are found in contaminated water. Okay, next one. Refer to the given paragraph and select the correct option regarding B, Q, R, and S. According to Red List of International Union for Conservation of Nature, P is an extinct animal and Q is endangered. Now here only solve for two. But here there is a googly, in the sense that dodo also is extinct, and the passenger pigeon is also extinct. Sorry, here the option is passenger pigeon. Okay, passenger pigeon also is extinct. So which is the correct option then? Then you have to look for the second one. Q is endangered. Is Indian rhinoceros endangered? No, actually, Indian rhinoceros was downlisted from endangered to vulnerable by IUCN in 2008 because the rhino population is increasing. So Indian rhinoceros is not endangered, but what is endangered? The golden langur, which is normally found in Assam, Tripura, and those eastern regions, Himalayan regions, Bhutan. So it actually, golden langur is endangered animal. So passenger pigeon is an endangered animal, and golden langur also is endangered animal. Passenger pigeon is actually extinct. They became extinct in early 20th century, somewhere around 1905 or 10. They became extinct. But golden langur, only 6,000 or 6,500 individuals they remain in the wild. Golden langur. So golden langur is endangered. Okay, next one. The period of harvesting is celebrated with great joy and happiness in all parts of India. Special festivals are associated with harvest season. Which among the following group of festivals is associated with harvest season? So which of them? Pongal. Okay, Pongal is a very famous festival in India, which is normally in January, because harvest of rice, isn't it? They celebrate Pongal, especially in the southern part of India. And Holi is normally during March or April. Again, they celebrate the winter crops, the rabi crops, harvesting of rabi crops such as maize and soybean. Is it? Diwali, October, November, harvest of rice again, Kharif crop post monsoon. So Diwali is also a harvest festival, along with the notion of celebrating Lord Ram coming back to his kingdom. Diwali is also a harvest festival. And Nab Anna is new food, new rice or new food, which is in this month of June. So Nab Anna is celebrated in eastern part of India. So all these 4 festivals are harvest festivals. Okay, question 46. So given the following image, okay, the mirror X is placed like this, and there is a beam which is the angle of incidence is 25 degrees, and you have to find as to which point the beam is going to hit. So at which point the beam is going to hit is point Q. So if you draw roughly, it is at angle 25. Angle of reflection will be 25. So if you draw the same ray at 25 degrees, the angle of reflection will be at point Q. Okay, and next one is, if this is the angle of reflection, if you place a sufficiently long mirror Z, so this is mirror Z, perpendicular to mirror X. So it is perpendicular at 90 degrees to mirror X. Then the angle of reflection for the ray at mirror Z will be, what will be the angle of reflection? So here the reflected angle is at 25 degrees, isn't it? This angle will, the incidence is 25, the reflection will be at 25. Now this line and this line is perpendicular, are parallel lines. The mirror Z and this line are parallel lines, and this is transversal. So if this is 25, this also will be 25. Alternate interior angles, So if this is 25, what will this angle be? 90 minus 25, because this is 90 degrees. 90 minus 25 is 65, isn't it? So this angle is 65. So angle of incidence here is 65, angle of reflection. So when it is reflected, it also will be 65, because angle of incidence and angle of reflection is the same. So angle of incidence will be 65 degrees, or reflection also will be 65 degrees. Okay, next one. And here you have to remember the properties of fuel. So here this is represents a fractioning column, isn't it? Fractioning column. Which of the following statements are correct? So the statements which are correct is substance U is used for domestic fuel. So first is substance U has the highest boiling point, which is false, isn't it? So U actually has got the lowest boiling point, because it is at the vapor stage here, isn't it? It is boiled first. Number 2 is substance U is used in domestic fuel, which is true. Butane, propane, isn't it? So if you see this image, butane, propane, which actually boils at 20 degrees, it is used for domestic fuel, normally for cooking purposes. And substance Z is used for lubrication, which is also true. Substance Z, which is lubricating oil or paraffin wax and asphalt, they are used for lubrication, because their boiling point is very, very high. Even if the machine gets very hot, you can apply lubricating oil on that machine, it will still be lubricated, because lubricating oil, the boiling point is very, very high. The ignition point is very, very high, isn't it? Number 3 is U, V, W, and X are all used as fuels, which is true. Petrol, kerosene, diesel, fuel oil, they are all used as fuels, isn't it? And V is used for power stations. What is V? V is petrol. It is not actually true. Petrol is not used in power stations, is it? Because petrol is highly inflammable. But while X is used for fuel for lamps and stoves. So what is X? X here is diesel. X here is diesel. Diesel is used in lamps and stoves? No. What do we use in lamps and stoves? Use kerosene, not diesel, because diesel still requires 300 degrees to burn, but kerosene burns us at 200 degrees. So we normally use kerosene for lamps and stoves. Okay, I refer to the given dichotomous key and identify P to T and select the incorrect statements. Okay, Unicellular go to 2, multicellular go to 4, and 2 is a possessed well organized nucleus go to 3. So what is P? P is it lacks well organized nucleus. Okay, so it is unicellular bit lacks well organized nucleus. It could be lactobacillus, isn't it? And Q, what is Q? It is nutrition is parasitic, isn't it? It possesses well organized nucleus. It is still a unicellular organism. It possesses well organized nucleus, but nutrition is parasitic. So what is Q? It is plasmodium or entamoeba or protozoa, which are parasitic, isn't it? And what is R? R is nutrition is mixotrophic. Mixotrophic is it has multiple sources of nutrition. So R is euglena. Euglena has got multiple sources of nutrition, mixotrophic, but it does not have cilia. So R could be euglena, but euglena it does not have cilia. It does not have hair on the organism. There are no hair present on the organism. But what it has is it has got a flagellum. It has got a flagellum, just a big thread-like structure, which may help this in the movement of the organism, but it does not have cilia. It does not have those small hair-like structures on the organism. Okay, so question B is the incorrect question here, option here, incorrect option here. Okay, question number 50, the last one. Hooray! Refer to the given graph representing the blood glucose concentration of two persons, X and Y, after eating a meal. Okay, so select the incorrect statements regarding blood concentration of both X and Y. So insulin is released in the pancreas after a meal, which is true, isn't it? Both persons X and Y, they release insulin, which is true. Person X is healthier individual than person Y, which could be hypoglycemic. Person X is not actually healthy because you remember the PP2BS tests. So PP2BS is 2 hours after having a meal. After 2 hours after having a meal, your blood glucose reading should be between 120 to 140. But here for person X, it is nearly 200. 200 is it is a high glucose level. It is a high glucose level where it seems that person X is a diabetic person who is not able to basically absorb glucose as per the normal norms, isn't it? So person X could be diabetic. Person X is not a healthy individual, isn't it? And then what is 3? Lowering of blood glucose level in X is brought about by utilization of glucose in respiration and excretion through urine. No, actually, person X will have to take insulin, isn't it? Because the person will have to take tablets. If you have high glucose, you either have to take insulin if the glucose level is too high, or you have to take the diabetes tablets, by which the blood glucose level could be brought down. But definitely it is not brought down by respiration. There may be, once the glucose is absorbed in the blood, you may basically excrete it through urine, but the main thing here is it is to be brought down by either tablets or by insulin. So with this, we have completed the exam paper 2017 and set B, questions 26 to 50. So you may want to like and subscribe this channel for the next set of videos, which will be published in the next few days. Thanks for watching this course, students. Thank you. Bye-bye.